What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another daily fantasy quickie. Hey guys, what's up? It's Daily Fantasy Quickie once again, and this is week 12.
Mag-week 12.
11. Week 11.
Yeah. Week 12 tomorrow.
To week 12. Since today's a Monday, let's do an all-English episode.
Yes.
We'll try to get more all-English episodes maybe for some of those followers who are not really Filipinos, and we've also had some questions from foreign fantasy managers as well, so we'll try to do it once a week for them. All right, storyline for today. First, Bulls shake up.
Yeah, Bulls shake up. They've lost some games, so they put in Tad Young and Thomas Satoransky. So this is what we were telling you about Tad Young, that you should not drop him even if Laurie comes back. So this is good, but I don't think it improves his fantasy value much. It's really Thomas Satoransky. Satoransky's value will be higher as a starter because he's definitely going to get 25 to 26 minutes at least.
Yes.
So this is good.
He showed that today. Today he did
10-7-7.
10 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal and 2 blocks. So that's a solid stat line for Satoransky. So do you think this is a long-term solution for the Bulls?
I don't think this is the rest of the season situation. I think there's a possibility they'll change it again, but they won today. So that's good. That means this will be extended this experiment will be extended for a while. The problem is if they start losing again, because Satoransky is not really something special, right?
Yeah.
So if they start losing again, maybe they'll change it again. But for now, you should pick up Satoransky.
I guess the only difference with Satoransky and maybe Kobe White is that Satoransky is more of a facilitator than a scorer.
Yeah, but it doesn't hurt Kobe White either, or Wendell Carter Jr. either.
And maybe it helps Kobe White being with the second unit.
Yes. It's good for all of them. It's good for all of them. So no drops.
So no Chicago players. Definitely, some of them must own. Let's run them down. Pat Williams should be added. No.
No. I still don't believe
he did 23 today.
Yes. He was okay today, and if he gets 1 or 2 more games, then maybe. But for me, no. Not in standard 12-team leagues. Maybe 14-team leagues. It's okay, but 12-team, I don't think so.
Because I just dropped Pat Williams a couple of days ago, and that's how unlucky I am. And after dropping, he does this.
But players like Pat Williams will have games like this.
Yeah, I mean, he won't be consistent. I think it's really not a major regret if you drop him.
Yeah.
It's just frustrating when the timing of your drop came in such a bad time, in such a way that he performed after the drop.
They were against the Toronto, who is very undermanned right now. So you have to look at the matchups as well. So it's okay. It's not that bad for me.
Okay, so Tad Young should be rostered. Satoransky should be rostered. Well, Wendell Carter played only 18 minutes, but it's a blowout, so maybe that's deceiving.
But Wendell Carter should be rostered.
Should be rostered now.
Yes.
I guess only one player in the list that may be Otto Porter.
No.
Out.
No.
Okay.
Out.
Otto Porter is still out. He played 21 minutes, but again, it's a blowout.
It's a blowout. Yeah.
So it's something to monitor moving forward. This Bull shake up. If it sticks, it might be good for everyone.
If it sticks, yes,
because
it might be good.
It's good for Satoransky because Satoransky off the bench really does not have any value. So. Well, he does, but on very deep leagues, not really.
Satoransky is like the poor man's TJ McConnell.
Yeah.
Well, TJ McConnell is already a poor man. But this is a poor man's poor man.
He's not a per minute stud because
no.
TJ McConnell with the limited minutes, he can give you a lot already.
Satoransky can give you 6-7 assists, maybe 1 steal, maybe a 3-pointer sometimes. So that's it. That's basically it. But that's okay, I guess, for some managers who need assists, which is hard to find.
Yeah,
that's not bad already.
All right, so another storyline of ours is the Philly replacements. Of course, everyone was quite disappointed. Well, not really too disappointed, but the replacements of Embiid, particularly Dwight Howard and Tony Bradley, were just okay. Not really something that you'll be jumping up and down about.
The game was, I think, also a blowout.
Yes.
As far as I know. And the thing is, yesterday we talked about who will start. So I guess we had our answer. That's the most important part, that Tony Bradley will start. The effect of that move is that Tony Bradley could be rostered in 14-team leagues if he starts, because he's gonna get at least half of the minutes at center, and Dwight will probably get half. And I think both of them will be low-end centers. We will not expect Dwight to get 15 points, 20 rebounds a game like that, like before. Or Tony Bradley doing those things also. It's not possible. They're not that good. So what they did today, 10 points, 7 rebounds, a block each, maybe. Maybe that's what you should expect.
Well, I'm also thinking that maybe Dwight can squeeze in some 10-15 there, or some 15-15 stat line.
No, sometimes.
Of the two, if they are both available in your waiver wire, who do you pick first?
I still pick Dwight. Dwight has a track record, and as you said, there are games where Dwight will give you 15 rebounds or 12 rebounds or a double-double. I think Dwight is capable of that, so I'll just go with Dwight.
All right, so looking up into the Week 12 schedule, Komish also touched on this just to prepare you. So, which are the teams now who does have favorable schedules going into Week 12?
So, first is the Lakers. They have a 5-game schedule. They're the only team with 5 games next week. The problem with that is that the Lakers don't have much streamers anyway. It's really just LeBron, Schroeder, Harrell, maybe, and Kuzma. Kuzma probably is the only one who's possibly in your waiver wire. So he's the only one I will
not
say.
Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, but he's the one who will have a big bump in value, really, because he's gonna get 5 games. I believe he's gonna play 5 games, but I'm not too sure. But the others, maybe Taylor Horton Tucker might get, be better because he has 5 games.
Markieff has been playing well for a few games already, so he might be KCP. Someone you can stream. KCP's up and down, so that might be harder to rely on, but
if you observe the schedule next week, there will be 3 days that there will be full 11 or 10 or 11 game days. So you won't stream those days, which is in Manila, that's Thursday, Saturday, and Monday, something like that.
All right.
Something like that. So the good thing about the Lakers schedule is that they play on Monday and Tuesday back to back. Those are rather lean days.
So that's tomorrow and Wednesday, Manila time.
Yes. And then New York also. New York Knicks has a good schedule in the sense that they have a back to back on the days that there's less games. And we know that they're ravaged with injuries in their guard rotation.
Yeah.
So there's value there. Alec Burks, Emmanuel Quickie.
Quickie is currently on game time decision.
Yeah, but he's gonna play. I think he's gonna play. He's gonna play. So Quickie and Alec Burks.
Payton as well is on game time decision.
I think Payton is out.
Payton's officially out already.
They said he's out. So that's why I like Quickie and.
So frustrating to own Alfred Payton.
Yeah, Alfred Payton, I think is a drop right now, and he just can't catch a break. So right now you have to go with Burks. Burks is the guy I think that tomorrow.
I dropped Payton for Satoransky.
That's a good move.
So just I think they'll probably give us the same value if Satoransky starts. So
and one is healthy, so go with a healthy person.
Yeah,
I think
and Payton is really so frustrating to him. Just when I added him, he gets injured. So plays one game and then gets injured. So it's a useless ad pretty much. All right, so let's move on to our big risers. Nikola Vucevic, the lone player, serviceable player, fantasy player.
Well, Terrence Ross came back.
Oh, Terrence Ross came back today.
And had a great game. He had a great game. 30-something points and I think 8 3-pointers.
Did we play Terrence Ross in our
No. I didn't expect him to be back. They said it's questionable.
Actually, I didn't know he came back until after the game.
Yeah. The question with Vucevic, what to do with him? I mean, people are...
I've seen a lot of trades going around or questions about Vucevic being traded.
The thing is, Vucevic himself can be traded in real life, right?
Yeah.
There's just so many rumors with Vucevic, and thinking about it, Orlando just doesn't tank. I mean, their coach doesn't know how to tank. Maybe they'll rest him a game or two, but they won't totally shut him down. That I'm pretty certain. They're unless there's an injury, they're not totally gonna shut him down. Maybe they're gonna lose 1 or 2 games from him a week later on, but he's still gonna play. So when you trade, make sure that you don't get someone so much worse than him that even if that person has 4 games and Vucevic has 2 games, you still lose out. So you just be careful. Yeah,
the other day I just got a trade offer for giving me Vucevic and Al Horford. I was asking Eric about this. I'm getting Vucevic and Al Horford for Miles Turner and Deshaun Holmes. So it was a tempting offer.
It is tempting offer, but the thing there is the Horford part. For me, like
Horford
you're risking Vucevic, but you're also risking Horford. So and you're giving up 2 strong players. Miles Turner and Deshaun Holmes are very strong. I mean, Miles is a 2nd rounder, maybe Holmes is maybe a 3rd rounder. So that's too much risk.
I was about to decline it this morning, and then I saw Vucevic, so I had second thoughts once again.
Maybe if it's not Horford. If it's not Horford.
But the other thing about that league is that I'm currently doing well. I've won the past few weeks already after being in 11th. Now I'm in 7th. So I didn't want to make major changes because I feel that maybe the team I have right now would be good enough to at least stick there in the playoffs and maybe compete. So I didn't want to make too big of changes. And
that is an underrated part of fantasy. Sometimes you have a strong team, you think you have a strong team, but you keep on losing. And then sometimes you have a team that maybe this is the right mix, the right chemistry of players, and you start winning.
Yeah.
And it's maybe because sometimes you have too much of something, too much of a stat, and then too less of another, or it's not balanced enough. Like in our FPW Superstars League, I dropped D'Angelo. I lost a lot of players, but I start winning. I have, a 3 or 4 game winning streak already. So you don't understand. Sometimes you don't understand.
So we'll be waiting for you in the playoffs.
No, I'm too far off already. I'm still number 14 or 13, but at least I'm winning. I mean, at least it's improving. But I felt like I had a strong team in the beginning, but now I feel like I have a weak team, but I'm winning. So that's an underrated. Sometimes if you find the right mix, be careful in trying to rock the boat, so to speak.
And I have a league where I've been talking about this with Eric and some of my friends. I have a league wherein I had Harden, Lillard, and Butler, but the supporting cast is not too deep.
Yeah,
I still end up losing 2-7 today. So
it's not a given.
But though I was 10 games behind, so it's like the opponent had 10 games more than me. So I think that, of course, made a big was a big factor as well on the loss. Anyway, another Philly player, as big riser, Tobias Harris.
Yes, we omitted him yesterday or the other day about rising Philly players. Actually, not only Tobias, Danny Green, Seth Curry, I think
and
the starting 5. Tybal, yes, later. We can talk about Tybal now. Yes, Tybal has been hot. He's had 13 steals the past few games. He's been scoring.
But when we talk about him being hot, it's really mostly the defensive stats. The scoring, that's
But lately
bonus.
he's been scoring. So that's the bonus part.
That's the bonus part, yes.
But I saw the game. Tobias was playing small ball center sometimes. So if that happens, Tyball might get some additional minutes. And if he just can continue stealing the ball, I mean that you could use him as a streamer for steals.
This is actually the biggest problem now for Philly Embiid owners. Wins like these,
yes, it's bad.
It's not gonna look good for Embiid because as long as they continue to win, the chances of Embiid resting or being limited once he comes back is getting higher. So
yes, especially if like Brooklyn and the difference between like the top three is the only close
they're close within
standing
each other,
in the East. Yeah, if Philly gets farther from, let's say, Milwaukee, which is number 3, they won't care if they're number 1 or number 2, my opinion. It doesn't matter.
And then we talked about this already in the past quickies that the more Philly wins, the more the higher the chance that Embiid gets rested towards the end. And they are a deep team; they can win.
And it hurts his MVP chances also. So I'm just gonna go back to that. That narrative will get lost, and he will not need to play a lot of games.
And Philly has the weapons or the players to keep on winning.
Yes.
With Tobias and Simmons leading the way. All right. Another player who's been hot over the past few weeks, and this guy is per minute stud, the new, maybe the latest of the per minute stud centers that we have, Robert Williams.
Yes.
He was almost perfect. I think he was perfect.
He was perfect. 7 out of 7.
Did he commit any turnover?
I'm not sure. But 16 points, 13 rebounds, I think 3 blocks. The important part is Brad Stevens came out and said that he's gonna only play 2 centers from now on. So Daniel Tay started but played 6 minutes. He didn't come back after being pulled out in the first quarter. He played 7 minutes 2 games ago. So it looks like Daniel Tay is the odd man out.
Yeah.
It might be like he's not gonna be in the rotation anymore. So this is
the challenge
for Robert Williams.
Yeah, and good for Tristan Thompson owners as well, because Tristan Thompson is probably right now would be their best rebounder.
Yes. These two, Thompson and Robert Williams, that solidifies their fantasy value in standard league.
Of all the 3, I think Tays has the better offensive upside, but Thompson and Robert Williams are better defensively.
And they don't need offensive.
And they don't need the offense, yes.
Offense right now. So that's bad for Tays owners. If you're a Tays owner, you can drop him, in my opinion.
All right. So, but if you're a Thompson and Robert Williams must own. Thompson, I guess.
Yes.
Rosterable.
I think so.
Rosterable.
14 team, yes. It's rosterable in 14 teams.
All right. So that's Robert Williams, and then we move on to another rookie who is making some noise.
That man.
Now I think he should somehow get some consideration into the talks. I mean, I don't think he'll still win Rookie of the Year, but he's been playing well for the past couple of months now, I guess. And he's been out of that Rookie of the Year discussion, but I think now at least some mention of him. He's worth some mention. We're talking about Anthony Edwards, who is continuing his good run of
I love Tyrese Haliburton. You guys know that. But as I said, as fantasy managers, we have to be not biased. We have to be objective. Anthony Edwards is not fantasy friendly, but what he's been doing right now, we have to give credit to that. And I think his field goal percentage has improved a lot. And he's been playing more aggressively lately, and he's shooting the ball very, very well. So yes, I don't think it's sustainable. And yes, you should trade. You should still use this time to trade him, because Malik Beasley will come back. D'Angelo Russell will come back.
Malik Beasley, I think, is halfway
done
with his suspension. So I think he should be out a week and a half more.
And Russell, I think about the same timeline also.
Yeah.
The difference right now is Edwards is getting all the shot attempts, all the usage you can, because he's the main scorer.
And they also didn't have McDaniels today.
Yeah.
So they're really depleted as well.
So you should use it. You should use this time to really sell high. Although
it's hard to sell a player like Anthony Edwards. I don't think many managers are as high with him.
But there are managers who would fall for the trap. There will be managers who would fall for the trap because
don't expect a very high level deal with Anthony Edwards. I guess.
You know, the only problem with Edwards is the field goal. That's the only problem. If he just makes it to as I said there, if he makes it 43-45%, I'll gladly take him. I'll gladly take him. Even with Russell there, even with Beasley there, I'll take him. But the problem is his shot selection is really poor. So let's see.
But again, he's been playing well. So if you are holding on to him and if
he's playing better than Halliburton.
Yeah,
that's
right now.
Sure.
Halliburton hasn't been.
That was my point.
Came from injury, and he is just starting to warm up, get back into game shape, I guess. So those are the big risers for today. Let's move on to the waiver pickups. This is going to be interesting because the first waiver pickup suggestion is another center.
Yeah,
Jackson Hayes. So we've early in the season we were talking about the lack of centers, lack of depth in terms of the center position in the free agent pool. Now it looks like there's a lot of centers that's waiting to be picked up, and we've talked about Moses Brown, we've talked about Justin Patton, we've talked about
Isaiah
Stewart. So these players are waiting to be picked up. Now another center is added to that, Jackson Hayes.
Jackson has played 3 straight games over 20 minutes, and Willie Hernan Gomez has lost his spot in the rotation. So that's something to monitor. I don't think he's a 12-14 team guy, still a deeper league guy. But I don't know if you guys saw the dunk, but that was one of the best dunks I've seen lately, the dunk over Reggie Jackson. And another thing I'd just like to inject.
That's over Reggie Jackson.
Yeah, that's over Reggie Jackson. But still, okay. like the DeAndre on Brandon Knight dunk, I think that's at the same level.
All right.
And there's another thing, like New Orleans has played 2 great games, and I don't know if it's a coincidence they got vaccinated. The team got vaccinated. Their first dose, their first shot, they got it already. Okay. So for guys who are like, will I be affected by COVID or something? If they get their second shots, then maybe guys like Ingram, Zion, and these guys would be safe for come fantasy playoff time. So that's something to monitor also.
So if I would assume that if they got their vaccines already, other teams would follow, and by the time the playoffs come, maybe everyone's got vaccinated already.
Not really, because the reason they got vaccinated, they were allowed to get vaccinated because of the state's new policy. They want high-profile people get vaccinated first for their other citizens to follow suit and not get scared. Right. So that depends per state. So that is good news for New Orleans, though, because that's the only thing we're worried
that
about.
They need, from COVID.
So this is actually big news. So guys, I didn't write it, so I guess to the listeners,
it's worth considering pick up some certain players. So Jackson, he's rosterable in 14, 16?
16, I guess. 16, still 16. 14, right. Not yet. I mean, the thing is, deep leagues.
Is he going to be better than Steven Adams?
Yes, I think so.
A better fantasy player at this point. If you have Steven Adams, would you drop him for Jackson Hayes? No,
not yet.
All right. Because Steven Adams got 19 minutes today, although it's another blowout, so
yes,
I don't know if that's going to be a trend.
But if Jackson Hayes gets the minutes of Steven Adams, yes, he can be better. But I doubt that happens. That happens.
Another waiver pickup, we talked about him in brief a while ago, Matisse Thybulle, who's been hot on the defensive end and has been giving bonus points and threes from time to time, I guess. And then Jordan Poole.
Jordan Poole, a guy from the G League again. And suddenly from the G League got his confidence back and is suddenly becoming a scorer.
But this is going to be a very deep league type of ad.
I think it's more of a streamer. Short-term play. Like if you have a streaming spot and then he's there, maybe you could use him because Golden State doesn't have much bench depth. Maybe Wiseman, but that's all. Yeah. They've been using Nico Mannion for Christ's sake. I mean, that's their backup point guard. So Poole has a chance. If he continues to be hot, he can be like a Dillon Brooks or maybe a Desmond Bane, a specialist for three-pointer. Yeah. So you have to put him in your watch list also. Monitor him.
All right. But the waiver pickup that everyone's so hyped about are not those that we mentioned, but this guy, Aleksej Pokusevski. Poku. We've been talking about him in the past few quickies, but we never, maybe I personally didn't really expect him to be this good again in this fast.
The thing with the Thunder is they're trying to tank. It's obvious. Like today, they played SGA, but they rested. The rest of the starters rested. So that's the reason why Poku is getting all the opportunity he can, but all the opportunity. But I'm not sure if how the Thunder is gonna go about their business going forward. Are they just gonna alternate players? Like, you play, then you play, and then you play.
That's going to be the biggest headache, I guess, of owning a player like this. But having said that, given the upside that he has, is he an ad for 12 or 14 team league?
I think you have to add him for 14 team league. It's your duty as a fantasy manager to add someone like that.
If you feel that the game has been boring for quite some time for you, maybe you're at the top of the standings, or
it's like this. If you're at the top of the standing, it's your duty because that can get you over the top, right? Yep. If you're looking for a playoffs, you're trying to go into the playoffs, then you need a Hail Mary, and this is that kind of a move.
Yes.
If you're out already, like 14th, 13th, and you're already bored. Hey, at least I have Poku and I have I have an exciting player. So no matter where you are, I think you have to add him. Whether it's the right move or not, we'll not know. But it's your duty to add Poku.
So that OKC team is again 3 teams already are looking like a gold mine of fantasy players that can really help you in the playoffs. OKC, Houston, and Minnesota. Most likely
soon Detroit will be added to that list.
Yeah, Detroit with who's there? Who's Killian Hayes and Stewart,
Diallo, Hamidou Diallo, Isaiah Stewart, Saben Lee probably.
We have to watch out for those teams and the players, and they have really good, very fantasy friendly young players.
Yes.
So we will be, of course, monitoring those. Yes, it's gonna really excite you, especially if you got them and you make the playoffs. You'd probably rely on some of these players to win you that playoff battle. All right, let's move on to the worrying players. Let's move on first to Kelly Oubre, who didn't play too well today.
Didn't play too well the other day. So
and he has an injury. We mentioned that he has
there is the injury. I will look at this closely, monitor this closely, because if he continues to shoot poorly, maybe the wrist is bothering him. Bothering him.
He still played 30 minutes though today. So
yeah, I mean he's gonna play, but the fact is, if your wrist is hurting, it's gonna affect your shot. So that's something you have to watch out carefully, because that will kill your field goal percentage category. So let's see. Maybe it's just a bad game. So let's see the next few games. Just something to watch out.
And the last player on our worrying list, probably the most exciting player, Kevin Love.
Okay, we have to talk about Kevin Love for Jeremy because I really pity Jeremy. When I saw the box score and I saw 1 minute, I knew right away what it meant. And it's a calf. It's the same injury. It's the calf. And as I said, you have to move on. I mean,
when I read the notes, my goodness.
There's no point. There's no point in keeping him. There's no
I dropped
point
him already. I wasn't even able to put him up.
The sound you're hearing, Jeremy, is the listeners and And myself
Slow
clapping.
clap. Slow
Yeah,
clapping.
giving you the clap. Finally,
Nice.
moving on. It's like, bad breakup. Just break up with someone already. Don't think about it, because it's really bad. It's hard. The stress is not worth it.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
And he probably won't contribute much. I doubt he'll give you a double this season.
We said 20 games, right? Remainder of the year.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can reach that.
He might just play 10 or maybe call it a season after today.
He killed this fan.
He played what? He hasn't even played and he didn't feel right after one.
He played a total of 11 minutes in 2 games and got injured. Again. So
I think
okay.
it's time to and is Kevin Love is younger than, let's say, LaMarcus Aldridge, right?
I think
he is.
He is. I think he's younger.
He's younger, right?
I'm not sure.
I think he's
a
little younger, and I think he should call it a career.
A season. No, don't call it a career. A season. Because we're joking about it, but Kevin Love has some issues. He said, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so let's just hope that he comes back and maybe gives us a couple of good games so that we'll feel good, and then
but just
call it a
him.
season.
I think there was another question that was asked to us if and the list contained Kevin Love and a couple of players more.
Yeah, actually Nikhil asked about Kevin Love. He was going to drop him and asked if it was okay to add Diallo and those other people. I just said that if you're gonna add Love, at least add someone who's playing already. Yeah. So I said maybe you make it a streaming spot. Diallo is not playing, so it's like you added someone not playing for someone not playing also. So if you just want, if the problem with Love is he's not playing, I think get someone who's playing right now. They're gonna replace
and there are a lot.
There are a lot.
Pickups that you can do to compensate the non-playing injury.
I'll just add Dario Saric. I forgot to write him in the waiver wire, but Dario Saric has 6 straight double-digit games. If you did not notice yet, so he can be a replacement.
And Phoenix has been playing well.
Yes.
Over the past few months already. All right, so let's move on to trade analysis of the day. Let's do 2 since we're quite early and we're ahead of schedule. First is Randall for Drew Holiday. I'll remove the kicker for Drew. There was a kicker that was added, but I don't think you'll love it because it's Kevin Love. so let's remove him from the equation. And
actually, if you did not put
Drew.
Kevin Love, I would have thought that's okay. But if you said and Kevin Love, then I'll choose Julius Randle.
But now let's remove Kevin Love because I don't think he's gonna be, he's gonna affect.
The point is Julius Randle is not anymore. Because people are saying buy low on Drew.
Yeah.
Julius is not the buy low. I mean, he's the same level, a higher level than Drew at this point, right? So I'm gonna go with Julius Randle. I'm just gonna go with Julius Randle. He is the number one option.
If it's not a buy low situation, you'll still go with Randle.
Yes, it is. Randle is the number one option of New York.
Yeah.
No matter how good Drew will come, there will be games where Drew will just be disappointing because he's a complementary piece. He's not even the second best option. He's the third best option. So you'll rely on assists and steals. And sometimes it's fluky, right? Steals. It's not something you can depend consistently. So I'm going to go with someone with a high usage. Then that's Randle.
Yeah, and Drew's rankings is high because of the defensive stats.
Yeah.
Right. So that, of course, that can deceive some managers. So he is a player that is really good fantasy-wise, but if you want a dominant type of player in the counting stats, at least Randle would be your guy because he gives you 27-7 around those types of numbers. So
yes.
And the second one, Zion Williamson for Clint Capella. This one's closer, I guess.
Yeah, that's closer. That's close. I'll go with Zion, I guess. You see how these guys have really turned their season around. I mean, who would have thought I would say Randall over Drew Holiday?
Yes.
And I'm gonna say Zion over Capella.
Initially, no one really felt that Randall would be able to sustain that strong run early in the season.
Capella's a stud. Capella's great. But the upside of Zion is altogether another level. His assist has been improving. He is starting to shoot better, free throw wise, and he's now getting defensive stats also. Plus, again, he's the number one option of New Orleans. He's a top 30 player. He got vaccinated, so I'm gonna go with Zion.
All right, but Capella is, if you need the rebounding and the blocks, maybe you could still go with Capella.
Yeah. Fantasy 2021. We're now looking for who got vaccinated and who has not got vaccinated yet.
Yes, and that's very crucial part. Hopefully, we'll see more of those players vaccinated in the coming weeks as we head into the fantasy playoffs.
The joke is they vaccinated the steroids to them instead of and that's why they're playing so well lately.
Who? The
New
Orleans.
Like ever since they got vaccinated, they've won 2 straight games via route, and they defeated the Clippers.
Yes,
Clippers
today.
by 20 or 30 points today.
I didn't even use Brandon Ingram or any New Orleans player in my DFS because it was against the Clippers. But a lot of them played well today.
They put something in those vaccines. I don't know what.
All right, guys. So that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. That wraps up week 11. A long week of fantasy basketball. We've had 2 calendar weeks of fantasy for that week 11. Now we head back to normal schedule with week 12 coming up, and I think there's a time difference now if you are from the Philippines or Asia.
Oh yeah.
The DST has kicked in. Daylight savings time has kicked in. To be honest, I'm not really too familiar if it's an hour early or an hour
early. So if you're gonna add, you have to add 3 p.m.
All right. So
not 4 p.m. So
Manila time. That's Manila
time. You have to be earlier. 3 p.m. You have to add the red.
All right. So that's it. So that's it for our daily fantasy quickie. We'll see you tomorrow. We will be on Jump Through Hoops. If for those Filipino fans, it will be on at 7 p.m. And at the PinoyLiga.com Facebook page. So catch us there. We are there every 2 weeks. So this week,
even for international viewers, because it's in English. It's an English
show, but it talks about NBA and the local basketball scene here.
And it's very interesting. It's a nice show. So you guys check it out.
Yep. All right, guys. We'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Bye, guys.
Bye.